Like all worlds, Center Ring has a beginning and an end. This world was formed by two originators at the beginning of thought, the cosmos and the void. The cosmos is made up of all, everything that ever was, everything that is, everything that will be, and everything in between. Its partner, the void, is all that remains. From these two primogenitors came their children, the Prime Architects, the Six. These celestial ancients took the madness of a sprawling, unkempt new universe and made sense of it to their whims. First of the Prime Architects is Time, he who organizes the dance of the planets, the movements of the moons, the slow drip of each grain of sand through the passage of the dial. The controller of every cog in the clock, the ticking of every second is his domain. Slow and meticulous, Time is the ever-present watcher, unbiased and uncaring, affecting all. Next came Destiny, she who weaves the strings of fate, their destination a choice of her whimsy. Like her older brother, Time, Destiny affects all things, though she touches every aspect of the cosmos with focused intention, whether it be kind or cruel. Crossroads, prophecies, dreams, all of these bear the touch of Destiny. All of them share her promises, as well as her threats. Third came Life, the dawn, the sunlight that feeds us all, and the cold embrace of the grave that will find you. Life wears both of these masks. Life breathes into you one day and pulls breath away the next. She is passionate and swift, then final and unending. Life is the only of the Prime Architects that is so dichotomous, pulled in two directions by her very nature. She touches all things from their beginning to their end, from the smallest ant to the furthest star. Her twin brother is Chaos, found in storms and the crashing of waves, witnessed in the blowing of the wind and the roll of every dice. Chaos is wild, unpredictable, devious, and fun. Chaos, in his very nature, is not cruel or wicked, but careless in his actions and uncaring of consequences. He is a child given the universe and told to play. Next of the Six came Magic. She is found in the aurora, in the beating wings of dragons, in every spell that is cast, and in the blood of those she chooses. Magic is fickle, playing favorites and manipulating the turn of the world as her whimsy allows. She has her machinations, her plots and schemes, nudging the world of Center Ring more directly than her siblings. Her power and authority over all within it, absolute. Last of the Prime Architects is the Forgotten, who was lost. It was the cosmos and the void who created the universe, but it was the Six Prime Architects who gave it shape and meaning. At the beginning of all things they were there, drawing their hands and placing their pieces on the board. Their game was about to begin. In the early days of the world, the architects became upset. Heartbroken and distraught, there was little hope that the universe would recover from their shared pain. But Magic was clever, and she gave the others a gift that made them forget their troubles. She mated with her siblings, and from their partnerships, Magic birthed the gods. These divine beings would serve as tools and playthings that the architects could use to more delicately mold Center Ring and its peoples. The Prime Architects were pleased with these gifts, and soon their pain was left behind. From her union with Time, Magic made the gods Kronos and Hestia to the pantheon of the humans. Horus, Ra, and Amun were given to the orcs, and Odin to the dwarven pantheon. With Destiny as her co-parent, magic birthed the gods of prophecy and omen. In the Orcan pantheon, she mothered Thoth and Khonsu. To the humans, she gave the twins Apollo and Artemis, as well as Aphrodite. And to the dwarves, they provided Frigg and Mimir. Life and magic together formed Demeter, Eros, and Hades, who the humans worship. To the orcs, they formed Osiris, Anubis, Isis, and Nephthys. And for the dwarven pantheon, magic gave life Freya. Magic and chaos together created Zeus, Poseidon, Hermes, Dionysus, all human gods. Ta and Bastet were given to the orcs, and to the dwarves they provided brothers Thor and Loki. All these gods and more were created by magic, gifted to her siblings who adored them, and would use them to shape and sharpen Centering's most valuable resource, its people. For no matter how distant or how grand they may seem, the Prime Architects are involved with every aspect of this world. As this is the first video of this series, I knew I wanted to start with the Six, the Prime Architects. They, in a much simpler form than they have reached since, have been around since I first stepped into the world of Centering over 8 years ago, and they've shaped each of the campaigns that I've run. In a way, the Six represent the 6 aspects of myself that go into being a DM and a storyteller, but they also serve as a creation myth for Centering. It should be no surprise that these cosmic beings, greater than gods, were inspired by the Endless in Neil Gaiman's Sandman series. I absolutely love these graphic novels, and I wanted to create a similar feeling of powerful figures that goes beyond the divine, somehow truly primordial and, both incomprehensibly huge and surprisingly simple at the same time. In my vision, these 6 are not even really beings. They're more akin to cosmic concepts that are intelligent and occasionally personified. They're essentially the equivalent to, what if the gods had gods themselves? Fun fact, each of the extended campaigns that I've run have had themes to them that coincide with the Prime Architects. The very first campaign that I ever ran took place alongside a very important event in the history of Centering, the Sorcerer's Civil War, and thus the concept of magic, its power, and its variance was a huge focal point of that adventure. The next campaign I ran had the heroes trying to gather pieces of the Necronomicon and keep them away from a necromancer who was trying to raise an army of the dead. There was a lot of death in that campaign. Actually, my first PC death was in that one. That was obviously my life campaign, as life as a Prime Architect does embody both aspects of life and death. For nearly the last 5 years, my friends and I have been playing what we've called the Chaos campaign, mostly due to the fact that the final boss is the Son of Chaos, and there have been elements of that unknown throughout. It's been a lot of fun. I'm currently working on concepts for the Time campaign, and have so many exciting ideas for that adventure. Lastly, I have teased my players a number of times about one day running a campaign that goes from level 1 to level 40, in which everyone is required to play a multi-class character that eventually gets to full 20 in both classes. And it'll take place in Centering's prehistory, and everyone will be playing characters that will eventually become gods. Like, I'm playing Hades, a level 20 necromancer, level 20 grave cleric. Or Thor, the level 20 storm sorcerer, level 20 storm herald barbarian. Obviously, that would be the Destiny campaign, and it would be wild. Something that I really like about the Prime Architects is that they aren't really as present in the world as you may think. At least not openly so. Obviously, they have their hands in everything, but they exist on such a macro scale that they're not even noticed. In fact, many people in Center Ring might go their whole lives without even hearing about the architects. The older species, such as giants and elves, give reverence to them, but other communities, especially shorter-lived ones like orcs and humans, don't spend any thought on them. And really, nowhere in Center Ring are you going to find a temple or a place of worship dedicated to any of the six, because as powerful as they are, they don't require or even want prayers or sacrifices or whatnot. They don't need them. So while they're very important to me as a dungeon master and the games that I run, that's importance on a table scale and something that we as players think about going into the campaign and sitting down for a session. But what's going on in the world is often it's pulled away from the six so that the people that are existing all around in the background aren't thinking about them, might not even be aware of them. That being said, a number of players of mine who are intimately familiar with Center Ring have voiced interest in playing a cleric or a paladin character who are devoted to one of the six. And I would totally allow that because it's a badass idea. I mean, can you imagine like a Goliath paladin who makes an oath based on destiny or life? Awesome. As separate as these beings are from the reality of day-to-day life of Center Ring, it is not uncommon for the stories and the adventures at my table to encounter them. My very first campaign changed the course of Center Ring forever by making a choice that deeply affected a number of the six. In another one of my campaigns, the party met magic herself, and in the Chaos campaign, my players suspect that they've run into the rascal a number of times, but that has yet to be confirmed. Oh, and a powerful NPC that they've met keeps an aspect of destiny in a cage because they have beef. That's a quick flash lesson in the 6 prime architects of Center Ring. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Now, how this series is going to work is at the end of each video, I am going to leave you with a list of topics that I could tell you about Center Ring. Comment on this video the one that interests you the most, and the one that has the most comments is the one that I will make next. Here are your options for next time. The calendar of Center Ring, what it's cosmically based off of, specific holidays, etc. The drinks of Center Ring, Part 1, a topic that I am quite knowledgeable and passionate about. If this interests you and there's a specific series that you want to hear about, include that in the comments. And then lastly, the Rogue Child of Chaos. Thank you so much for watching, citizens of Center Ring. I'll see you next time, somewhere in the world.